Welcome to my tutorial for Inconceivable mode, Solo, and Hivebusters. This is the Gears 5 DLC. And yeah, a lot of action in this DLC. It's only about 3.5 hours long, maybe less. It took me about 3.5 hours on the experienced mode, my first time through. And then for my next playthrough, I went straight to Inconceivable, which really isn't even as hard as some of the parts in Insane in Gears of War 4, so it doesn't seem to be too difficult. I mean, for this type of mode. It's definitely challenging, though, especially if you're not used to these kind of modes. It can be very hard, I'm sure. But if you've played through Insane mode on a few of the other Gears games, then you're probably not going to have too much of a problem. So yeah, for this tutorial, I'm going to be showing combat only. So as far as collecting all the little bullshit, you should be trying to collect all the upgrades, you know, stocking up your ammo between combat scenarios and all that. But that's all basic shit, so I'm not going to get into that in the tutorial. I'm just going to show the combat and explain my strategies for each combat section. This first section is not really even worth showing. It's just shooting some leeches. Very, very easy. But I'm going to try to show all the combat, even if it's not really that significant. So yeah, what I'm going to do is divide this up into 6 parts for the first postings of the tutorial. So it'll be 1 part for each chapter, and there's 6 chapters, and then I'll combine it all into a single video as well. I may also post up an edited version that doesn't have commentary as well, that still has the deaths edited out and, you know, combat only focus. I'm not sure about that yet, but I probably will post up an unedited playthrough of this mode that'll show all the failed attempts, however long that takes. I'm about halfway through the game now, so I haven't completed it yet on this mode. There is something I learned a little bit late, and you're going to see it in a second. I realized that you can pick whatever character you want to use. You have 3 different characters you can choose from. And I didn't realize that you could actually play as all 3 characters. For some reason, I wasn't thinking about it, but it's very obvious. When you start the game up, you can pick between, you know, which of the 3 characters you want to play as. And each one has their own unique abilities. So, what I recommend doing is not playing as the character I'm using. He has an ability that allows him to restock his ammo, but you really don't need to. You can just queue up commands when he's one of your allies, and he'll just do it for you. You don't need to play as him. But Mac here has a shield ability, which is extremely useful, especially when you need some time to regenerate health, or, you know, get in some headshots real quick. It gives you some time to get out of cover and take those shots, because you die very quickly in this mode, and I'm sure in Insane mode as well. So I recommend playing as this character. Now for this part, you can run through and stealth all these guys very quickly. You really don't need to wait around, as you can see here. They're very stupid. They're not too intelligent. So you can just run through without much thought, as long as they don't see you. But, you know, they really don't see you that easily unless you're, you know, unless they're facing you. They don't seem to be too aware of, you know, when you're hauling ass towards them. They don't really seem to notice it. And then for the last 2 enemies remaining, I just shoot this barrel over here in the ground. That propeller will kill you. The propeller that was by that barrel, I got shredded by that a few times trying to stealth kill those guys. So I recommend just blowing up the barrel, because you won't alert them anyway, because they'll be dead when the barrel explodes. So you won't have to fight them normally. You'll have killed everyone on the checkpoint. So for this part, don't forget to activate this hanging robot by pressing X near it. I didn't do this initially. It's actually an ally that will kill a lot of enemies for you. It has a tripod, and I believe when it dies, you can even pick up its tripod and use it against enemies. So here I'm making sure I have all my ammo filled up, and I'm making sure I have 2 sniper weapons, a sniper rifle and an M-bar. So that's my recommended loadout. And, you know, pick up all the frag grenades in the area as well. They're by that robot that was hanging. There's some frags. There's also a sniper rifle right behind where I'm standing there. So, and there's an M-bar right where I was standing. So all that shit is around that area. So make sure you get the M-bar, the sniper rifle, and all 4 hand grenades. I also recommend bringing over the salvo weapon. I believe that's the only heavy weapon available over there. You can bring that over to the area where you're going to be taking cover, which is behind those barriers that you start at. So you may want to take all that weaponry over there and have it ready to use. Now, when I had to replay this because I was using the, I think Keegan, the other character, and I wanted a character with the shield ability when I realized I could switch characters because I thought that would be a lot more helpful. So I ended up replaying this part. That's why I was able to get through this part without dying, on this attempt anyway. I think I cleared all the checkpoints without dying until the very end where I died just right when the final checkpoint appeared, and I had technically beaten the level at that point. It gave me credit for beating the level. So I will show that one death just to show how the checkpoint transition. So here it explains your various abilities, your Electro Blade. And if you're playing as one of those characters, you'll get the ability assigned to that character. So this character I'm using now has the shield ability, which I find to be the most useful because you can bring up a shield briefly by pressing Y, and it gives you enough time to take headshots on multiple enemies. And, it can give you enough time to heal if you're being, shot at. Very useful. I switched to the machine gun briefly, and I put my sniper rifle on the ground just briefly to kill out these juvies easier, because I was using the pistol initially to take them all out, but sometimes it's not reliable. Now, what I do is I stay around my allies and that tripod robot, and tri-shot robot. And when I do that, my allies take care of most of the juvies anyway, so, I have to shoot a few of them, but no big deal. So now I pick up my sniper rifle again. I left it there, so I just pick it up again. And now what I'm going to be doing is I take this guy's head off immediately because that's a torque bow sniper. And there's another torque bow sniper. I took both of them out, headshots take out guys real quick with the sniper weapons. That's why I try to always have 2 sniper rifles in my loadout. And a bolt-tock, if possible, for my pistol. But usually having 2 snipers will take care of just about any situation, especially if you have the bolt-tock for enemies that get up close, since it fires faster and does decent damage. So here I'm just trying to pop off as many heads as I can from behind these barriers. I throw this grenade here, and that takes out 2 guys since they grouped in that one area. So if you get a chance to do that, you can wipe out some guys fast. So now I believe there's only this one guy left, so I was kind of taking my time. I may finish him off with the pistol to save sniper ammo, which I always recommend doing. If you have guys isolated, use some pistol headshots or just some pistol shots to finish off a guy. Also, if you're caught in the middle of a reload, of course, you can switch to your pistol and fire off a few shots, get some extra damage if you need instant damage. So yeah, I'm mainly staying back here trying to headshot as many guys as I can, as quickly as I can, and I use the barrier to give me some breathing room and take off some more heads. I found this part to be the hardest part so far for me out of the first 3 chapters. So it is one of the harder parts. But see, the quicker you can take off those heads, the quicker you can keep these waves from, at bay so they don't swarm you. You want to try to do that as quickly as possible. Especially on this difficulty because you don't have a lot of time to pop out and take shots. So headshots are much quicker. If you can, pull them off quickly, you can wipe the enemies out quick and not get swarmed. Now I've been saving the tri-shot back here, which was a weapon I believe I probably picked it up on the field, I believe. When I started this area, I think there was a tripod available, or tri-shot. So I left it over there. I'm getting some of my ammo back here with the resupply ability. See, because you don't need to play as that character to use the resupply. You can just tell him to do resupply by holding LB and one of the buttons. You'll command him to do it, and then you just got to get in that aura, and you get your ammo back. It's good to do between combat scenarios too, just to get extra ammo. So for now, I'm using the M-bar now. I think I was running low on sniper ammo, so I'm popping off some heads with the M-bar. You can also shoot their heads off while they're sliding down that slope, which I was doing initially. I don't know if I got any of them on this attempt. You see I'm taking off the heads pretty quick. The helmet guys take 2 headshots to pop their heads off. You may want to throw in a few grenades, but, they don't always, if the guys are a little too close, the grenade's not really going to work. It has a large arc. Even when you blind fire it, it kind of goes a little far. So yeah, this guy only takes 2 headshots with the M-bar to wipe out that large guy. I think he's a boom shot or a boomer. Some kind of large drone. So then after he's cleared out and the smaller enemies are cleared out, I go straight to the tri-shot and I finish off the rest of the encounter with this tri-shot. See, I'm taking them out as they're sliding down even, so they don't even get a chance to land on the ground. So yeah, this makes it easy. It makes this last wave of enemies easy if you save it till the end. And I do end up getting killed. At the very end, I actually did die. But see, I got the checkpoint here. And I believe there was another trigger point or a checkpoint that I must have got, because I die at the very end of this. But when I respawn, the level's basically over. The helicopter comes down and blows everything up. So somehow I skipped ahead by dying at that part. I think because I was probably at the very end. See, I die here. So I left that death in to show what happened. And then when I reload, this is what happened when I reloaded. So it must have been at the very, very end. Because now there's really nothing I have to do here except, you know, wait for the helicopter to come down, I believe. There's a pouncer here, but I don't really have to do anything. The helicopter just comes and finishes off the level. So I must have died right at the checkpoint. But they do give you a few checkpoints during this encounter, so it's not too bad with some proper planning. But if you're not taking off a lot of heads quickly, you can get swarmed very easily. So with the technique I was using, you do want to take the heads off as quickly as possible.